Steam and steam and steam, yes. Steam and steam and steam, yes. Steam and steam and steam, yes. Steam and steam and steam. Give me your phone and the best better import it from West. Me no want no nicotine, not to fuck up on my chest. I just steam and I steam and I steam. I just steam and I steam and I steam. I'll be burning. I wait from the morning till it's done. I'll be burning. I wait from the evening till it's sun. So push it up in my palm, light it up and take a job. Really like that spitting gun, burn it down Babylon yard. Stop by gives the rest of farm, big up all African. Man a real nigga man, with the chalice in me hand, yes. I'll be floating on cloud nine, yes. Tell you all that's on my mind, yeah. I'll be burning, I'll be steaming from the week start until the weekend ends. Steam and a steam and a steam, steam and a steam and a steam, yes. Steam and a steam and a steam.
Sure.
Steam and a steam and a steam.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I'm sure the brother's coming over here, you know, someone.
So no one can hurt me.
What's the matter?
Mercy. Even when I'm not worthy, oh Lord. In a life on this road I try to give thanks for the good and bad. And all the ups and the downs I've had can't compare to the strength of God. That's why every move I make, I pray that you guide my steps. I am on to my feet. Love me, feel me. Thank you for love and mercy. So no one can hurt me. Thank you for love and mercy. Even when I'm not worthy, oh no. I'm not you, I'm not made mistakes. I'm in the gods and the booze and breaks. And every day to the pain and aches, I know that I ain't giving up. So I find a way to live, learn how to forgive, keep an open heart, grabbing victory from the start. Judge by your mercy. So no one can hurt me.
No,
Judge by love and mercy. Even when I'm not worthy, oh no. Thanks for brother blessings and blessings of turn.
all the followers are out there, man. How you doing? Everybody out there. Wow. Look on the listeners now. You know how this thing works. You help me, I help you.
Even when I'm not worthy, oh no. That by love and mercy. So no one can hurt me.
Oh, look at that. Letting it run out. letting it run out. How can you do that? How can you do that, sir? How can you do that, sir? Eh? Grand Risings, welcome to the galaxy of we.net. This strong on the 14th of the 8th, 2025, live and direct to you, coming up to 25 past 11th hour of the day. Wow, wow, wow. For all the new listeners and those who are just passing through, let me just give you a concept of what the Blacknificent show really is about. Right here, right now. New levels, higher levels of being a person. Personal journeying. We take this space for personal journeying, right? So that's what we're going to be doing, having those conversations of interpersonalism. Okay. And it's not no big thing. It's just let's talk to you and you talk to me. And we can talk to each other around the world. Hashtag world peace. I've been busting that on everything out there right now. Been putting it out there, you know, because if we don't start from where we are, how we expect it to be spreading out. We can talk about it, we can think about it, but what actions are we doing? So let's just take the one action right there. So world peace to everybody. So everybody just put that on today. Hashtag world peace. Okay, so if you pass through, you can take that one there, sir. And take that one, use that one, abuse that one there, sir. World peace. And of course, don't just say it, you know. Don't just say it. Let's live it. Let's live it. Let's live it right now. Again, yet again. It seems like we're just going round in circles, doesn't it? Life goes round in circles. Here on the Blacknificent Show, what we do for the first hour is we really do look at the issues what has been facing us over the last 7 days and try to put them into some kind of context, perspective, and be at peace with it within ourselves, right? And it's not everything that we can be at peace with. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here, right? Conversation that's been coming up, you know, over the past, I would say, few years now. But like it's just culminating into the stupidity of some of these people who we are calling and allowing to be representation of who we are, right, as human beings around this planet, right? And who the cap fit, you can wear it, right? If that hat fits you, you can wear it. Anyway, when we are faced with personal survival, personal existence, we do everything to control around our own environment, don't we? Yeah. And if we control our own environment, like for instance our house, yeah, we will put up locks and everything else, like everybody gonna come through the front door to. You seen those doors? You seen those doors? We've all 4 or 5 locks from the front door. Like everybody come through, walk through the front door. What about window and back door? Yeah? It does seem silly, but hey, you know, that's our habits. That's our habits and our instinct as well, isn't it? Right? I know say like in the Caribbean, they put grill, right? Ironwork over the windows and doors, right? They lock themselves in. They cage themselves in to prevent intruders in them ways there. Why are we allowing this to happen, or we are not doing the same for ourselves outside of the household? Why are we allowing these infiltrators into our lives to bring this discreditation, misrepresentation of who we are. And then when you say to them, when you say to them, what you're doing is wrong, they want to arrest you, charge you with lies. What they are thinking that you are saying to them. I say, no, all we're saying is, we're not part of your foolishness. We don't want to be part of your foolishness. You are doing exactly the opposite to what I and what we see as the right. Yeah, but you want to criminalize me for saying them things there. No problem. No problem. Because your actions alone shows that you do not have my interests at heart. Least you forget. You hear that one there? They love to show that. They love to push that down your throat. Certain times of the year, memorial. They love to shove it down your throat about, oh, well, we had the war, we had the war. We fight for your freedom. Yeah. Let me tell you something. You see the people who you are killing, no, and the ones that you did kill off over that period of time, we are the ones still calling for peace. But you, warmonger, still are going with your foolishness. And this is the thing what I can't. I am finding it hard to really thought about. You see the wrongs that has been done. We're living through the fallout of what has been done. Destructions of societies and systems out there far beyond the repair, which they're saying, oh, well, once we finish destroying your homes, your lands, and make it uninhabitable, we can come and rebuild it. We'll come and rebuild it. This is their view and their points, right? Foolishness here chat, boy. Foolishness here chat. Because here's us who don't have no weapon in our back pocket, no weapons of mass destruction in our back pocket. And we can make the sense, we can talk sense, we can see a way of how this can be resolved instantly. Instantly. But yet you, ignoramus, don't want to take it on. You, ignoramus, are full of your ways that you want to go ahead and you want to embroil everybody into them type of line of thinking, which is not so. Which is not so. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's not so. And you're expecting us to walk behind you, wave the flag of patriotism. Are you crazy? I'm waving my own flag here. World peace. World peace. World peace. Let that be our mantra for now until the day that we do see it. Emperor Selassie spoke of this even when he was being oppressed by such like people, very similar to what's going on now. And he spoke of how it can be done, when it can be seen to be done, And when the world would accept that it is done. And even now, they are singing the words of Empress Selassie. Hmm? Even now, they are singing those words. What can we do? What can we do? We are the ones who are the one who can make these things happen. Let's be truth. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Let's be honest with ourselves. Huh? Hmm? What can we do? Sure. And permanently discredited and abandoned. I hear you. I hear you. All right then. Okay, come. And if you don't know it, get to know it. Until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war. Yeah, Emperor again. Until the ground is no longer first class, second class citizens of any nation. Until the color of a man's eyes is of no more significance than the color of the eyes. It's a war. Until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. And it's a war. Until that day, the dream of lasting peace. What you say again? Repeat that piece again. Let me hear. Until that day, the dream of lasting peace. Lasting peace, world citizenship. To be pursued, but never again. Now everywhere is war. War. And until the ignoble and unhappy routine that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, Southern bondage, oh boy. Totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. War. It's a war. War in the east. War in the west. War up north. War in the south. War. Rumors of wars. And until that day, world peace, we say. Will not know peace. We Africans will fight, we find it necessary. And we know we shall win. We know we shall win. Sure. Why is it that we sing songs of this? We tell them the message continuously. We tell them the message continuously, every day, every day, every day. This is why. This is why. Whenever they're talking about war and destruction, them come together. waving their red, white, and blue. But when they talk about peace and unification, they see us waving our flags of the red, gold, and green, the black, green, and red, because they know say that is a unification. And they are more afraid of the unification than the peace and unification, than the wars that they want. They're more afraid of the peace and unification than to stop war. What type of foolishness? Overnight, we could resolve this. Overnight, we shall resolve this. This is why it takes a nation. It would take a world saying in unison, no more, no more, no more. We will be putting up with this type of foolishness anymore. No more, no more will a young person take the life of another young person. No more, no more will be the senseless killing and terminations of lives. No more, no more will be there the cries of hunger around the world. We have to break down their barriers, break their guns, destroy their ammunitions, and bring peace to our nation. Foolishness, this one. Come on now. Come on now. Blacknificent radio show. GalaxyForWe.net. Live line is open on 074 953 95360. Also on 0203 289 6504. And also on 0203 576 1786. Grand risings to each and every one of you, Brother Ayo, showing them the way how to life go. Ah, my brother. Oh boy, I tell you. What, you know something? I would love to do a live evening with you, you know. Then we can just vibes in a live situation. We've got thousands of us just gathered together in peace and unity under that flag of peace and unification. A war, a war. Woodum powers to all the pilots there here on the galaxy of we.net. Healing vibes going out to all of those who are going through things right now. You know something? If I could radiate, what do you mean if you could radiate? I can do it, but sure, I am radiating healing vibes right across this world right now. Lift up, rise up, and reinvigorate yourselves here right now on the Blacknificent Show, GalaxyForWe.net. What you gonna show me now, my friend? What you gonna show me? Eh? Okay, soca. You want to give me some soca? No, 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 no. Okay, then go on, then go on, then go on, then. You know it's that season, isn't it? It's the season.
you hear this come from? Boxing on the left, on our melody. Yeah, yeah. And let the rhythm take you, come. Just not spirit to attack, listen for me. Yeah, yeah. Does it tell you that your heart is like that? Oh yeah. Does it tell you that your pain is like that? Oh yeah. Does it wash away your memory? But are you ready for a brand new story? Calypso, calypso, calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, calypso, calypso music. Sing it away, oh, sing it away, oh. I feel that I am the seed of the ground. I got to sing it away, so. Rooted deep within my Caribbean, to make up all of this cringe. But I'm the woman's father in the challenge. Shake, shake, give it a feel so confusing. I did so. Because I never refuse it. I did so. Make it sure that I shall go through. I did so. What makes it shake? You don't know. That's I did so. Calypso, calypso, calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, calypso, calypso music. Sing it for you, so. Sing it for you, so. I feel like I am the seed of the seed of the seed. I'm like a monster. Sing it for you, so. I can still hear like a drum beat with it, but I think it that feels that dead of the river. Lord, we make a wonder from your heart this time. I'm not kitchen and make it all, not that feels so cute. Begin around terror. It's like a man thing that happens on the ground. When you think that you do, be a the always by the birds, sparrow. When I come back with the tail, get the chocolate. Don't go, sparrow, don't go. Calypso, calypso music. Yeah, yeah. Calypso, calypso, calypso music. Sing it for you. So, I feel like I'm the seed of the seed of so, I wanna rise. From the time we go back, and we try to up and we sing and feel. Push and tell it to burn. The red giant starts
Better?
yeah, that could be telling again. Time, the river came out of the land, the sound of the bomb tree. From the back to the river, the transfer. Whenever the two It's not easy.
I'm gonna give you this one before the. I'm gonna give you this one before the big day meditation. Go on. This one always great when I was growing up, man. It's make me laugh, you see. Hilltop screams. Who there? Who there?
This is the story, ladies and gentlemen, about two lovely white women traveling all the way from
Get lost.
themselves deep
Just get lost.
in the Congo. In the hands of my
Nam them out. Nam them out. Sparrow.
and they believed I would have taken them back to their husband. But I was hungry, hungry, hungry. Two white women traveling through Africa, finding themselves in the hands of a cannibal headhunter. He cook up one and he eat one raw. That tastes so good he wanted more. He want more. I envy the Congo man. I wish it was me, I would have shaken hand. He ate up in his stomach and said, I never eat a white meat yet.
What's coming at it?
Who the
Let's be careful out there on the street. Now. Let's be careful out there on the street.
peeping through the bushes to see what's taking place? Yeah, I saw the Congo going to take a little taste. He opened his eye and started to really rubbing the belly and he found a little. Envy the Congo man. I wish it was me, I want to shake his hand. He eat until his stomach up, step what about you, Rico?
You can't get enough of it, man. You can't get enough of it. All right. Uh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Listen, we're coming out to the midday meditation here on the Blacknificent show. You know, just have a little fun and a little ease off the pressure, man, because of the way our life are going, boy, I tell you have to find something make sense out of this nonsense while going right now. I don't know what's taking on these world leaders, but you know, sure, sure. You will find your corner, yeah. Sure, find your corner, sit down. But anyhow, let's push on through. Let's push on through. Family, we come up to this midday meditation as we do, right? We just breaking down the issues and things that's happening around us and for us and put it into perspective for each and every one of us. Because if we don't take that time out to just really put these things into place, life will just run us over. And guess what? Guess what? You're gonna find yourself catch up in a something that you don't want to be in. But that is how life can be. That is how life is, right? And unfortunately, this is what society is pushing us towards. So let's just put it into perspective as we have done, right? And let's move on. No, the clearing has been done. The clearing has been done. As we move up into the midday now, beautiful time of the day. We encourage you to do this type of practice on a regular basis, whether you take the 15, 30, 40 minutes to do that inner perspective, inner journey, do the body checking in, you know, just feel, just go through your mind, ease the pressure, and you'll be surprised once you put your mind into this. It's called mindfulness, journey through your bodies. The mindfulness, journeying through the bodies, relaxing all of those faculties within yourself, the head, the tension. Give it acknowledgement. Say thank you. Even though it feels like it's a headache that is really busting your head, just give it some time to just release the muscles in your face, because you find that a lot of this is preventative, and your body's only doing this natural thing of tensing, trying to protect. And once you release that tension there, you'll be surprised how easy it is to dissipate a lot of pain and discomfort in that way. You know? So you can start from your head top, right through your face, down your neck, down your back, shoulders, arms, hands, chest, stomach, hips, thighs, foot, right down. And when you learn to have that journey on a regular basis, you're surprised how effective it can be, because you can do this practice also when you retire at the end of the day to sleep, to slumber. And if you do this practice of releasing the tensions, of awareness in your body, how easy it is for your body to fall into that state of sleep. But telling you, there's a lot of us who don't do this. What can aid in this as well is like if you have a cooling shower to cool your body down, or even just to cleanse your body prior to sleeping as well. This has a massive effect on us as well, you know. So these are all forms of meditation, all forms of meditation. And even as you rise on the risings, right? There are many who find it very effective to be in that state of when the water is really cascading over your bodies, how it can bring you to that state of just feeling good about yourself. Mainly, I'm going to tell you now, some of us do not have the personal touch from others to really enjoy that massaging energy. And if you are able to get to have that personal massage from another or with another, right? Then, obviously all these things can be helpful as well. There's many of us who haven't had that for years. So you can imagine the tension was in the body there. So, right? So these practices that we do here on the Galaxy for we.net, on the Blacknificent show here, are all here just to aid, help, and to encourage you to take this time for yourself, for yourself, for yourself, your energy. Make this your midday meditation as a regular basis, so that when you present yourself in a radiant manner, just feel bossy. Feel bossy when they say, "Oh, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? You look so, I can't put my finger quite on it, but you look so fresh." Yes, man. Yes, man. So, do these practices on a regular basis, right? And make sure, say that when you do them, when you do them, right, take note also. Take note of of what the effect is, what the effect is on your sorry, on you as well. What has come up on there, right? Allow yourself to be spoken to and listen to the inner guidance as well. Listen. It's very important that you listen to the inner guidance. This is part of what the meditation can give to you. Okay? All right then. So as we move to the midday meditation period time, right? I ask of you to find yourself a comfortable spot, probably somewhere where you won't be disturbed for the period that you wish to meditate. Well, as I say, it could be for 15 minutes, half an hour or so. And let's just go into that state. And if you wish to, close your eyes or just be observant around yourself and look at the synchronicity of life itself. While we're journeying, while we're journeying with these memorable tunes, if you had never heard them before, embrace the lyrics. Embrace the lyrics. Allow them to take you through a journey. For those who know them, listen deeper. Probably you heard them on previous places. Visit those places again in your mind's eye and enjoy the journey that you have experienced through your life. So, without further ado, let's go into this Strong's midday meditation here on the Blacknificent Show on galaxyafterwe.net. And we start with the power of the breath by taking a deep breath and allowing ourselves to journey.
I just had a word with my forefathers. They said this would hit you hard like firecrackers. Black truth, coming from a black root. We have to go back to black. We have to put black on track. Boy, I said, black soul black, black soul black. Too many lies, black soul black. Moving forward in life, black hold back. Black hates black. Black don't rate black. Black underrates black. Even some black don't wanna see some black people dead black. Black beat black. Black hit black. Black cheese black. Black Madrid black. Black you black. Black don't feel black. When black give black. Black want to steal back. Black don't support black. Black extort black. Black deport black. Black report black. Black snitch black. Black bewitch black. Black don't enrich black. Good with black never wish black. Black don't appreciate black. Black never tolerate black. Black relegate black. That's why black currencies depreciate back. Black deceive black. Black don't believe black. Black religion. Black division. Black the freedom. Black's division. We do this for the next generation of black. Let my music be the truth and penetration for black. Love is the answer for the elevation of black. This slave mentality will lead a new motivation for black. Black leaders, you don't need to have a bad mind. You travel abroad, you see good roots and empathy, come back and act blind. Clean water, good food, we can't find. Blackness, black richness, black excellence, black love, and black mind. That's what we want.
Yes, you're in tune to the midday meditation. Here on the Blacknificent Show.
Baby, you've been gone for a long, long time. All I had was a picture of you in my mind. I'm so glad to have you back in my life. I want you to know that we know only night. I remember the rain, how the nights were long and cold. Now the sun is shining, now my baby's back home. Oh, baby, how I do. My baby, when you were gone, all I would do is think about the last time I was holding you. The way you dress, babe, turns me on. I'll keep you close, safely in my arms. Remember the rain when the nights were long and cold. Now the sun is shining from my baby, my baby, my back home. My baby, my baby.
Yes, how good do you feel? How good are you feeling right now?
Never spend no minute of time without you, baby. My baby, now I since I met my baby back. Oh, baby, now I since I met my baby back. Ooh, since I met my baby back.
You're in tune to the midday meditation here on the Blacknificent Show on galaxyofwe.net. Islands, here we go.
Meditating in my house just the other day. It's like I charge up myself and I trap away. I travel all day, I travel all night. Never went and what I saw to tell you is my delight. Away over yonder, the eye behold, because in front of the eyes was a patch. But like a wheel, the world turn around and all the people who were up, they came right back down. Now I no longer see the African primitive man with that heaviness hand. Instead I see a civilized, intelligent man walking that mountain. I see Ethiopia go rise again, and in the time of the African shall reign. Ethiopia shall rise again, and in the time of the African shall reign.
Oh, gosh.
Well, my journey to the third world was out of sight. I traveled so far, it had started getting light. But the feeling was there, the feeling was right. I was traveling with song at the time was very tight. Another place, the Lord Valentino went. Was the darkest of all the continent. There were rumors of war, there were talks of bloodshed. As a lion was awakened from his sleeping bed, I saw a black shepherd leading his sheep. As I meditate and with thoughts deep, leading the demonstration with shouts of power, was getting stranger. Ethiopia will rise again, and in the time of the African shall reign. Ethiopia will rise again, and in the time of the African shall reign. Well, like I was today, until the Lord was there. Was in the third world, my thoughts completely went agree. Our record, yeah, I saw them making past with that. And then I saw some soldiers, like metal and sharp, Chinese, and for running like young. Reminded me of the great Mount Satan. You tell my deeds to the predominate, and to me they predicted black man's fate. Black man go have things under he control. He go educate the young and the old. These facts are the untold. The break of fight with the French people. Ethiopia will rise. And in the temple, the African shall reign. Ethiopia will rise. And in the temple, the African shall reign.
Yes, I, Ethiopia. Right.
Oh yes, it's true. It's not every day we're gonna be the same way. There must be a change somehow. There are bad times and good times too. So have a little faith in what you do, 'cause you don't need to realize the things you gotta face in life. Today you're up, tomorrow you're down. So thank God that you still around the time. Oh, we got to work like slaves. Just be a little bit ready. Oh yeah, but as we go along life's road, we'll find happiness. You got one mind. It's not every day we're gonna be the same way. There must be a change somehow. There are bad times and good times too. So have a little faith in what you do. Yeah. If you're feeling lonely, you're one on it. For I have found the girl and run away. Just to reach for the phone, out there at home. Let's face it, now be baby. If your heart's been shattered, the pieces are scattered all across the ground of the day. Just to reach for the phone, out there at home. My name is fixing down the love is nothing better from mistake. And life is not the game it seems. If you feel mistreated by your lover, now darling, come see me. And if you're feeling lonely, you're one and only. For I have found a girl and away. Just to reach for the phone, I'll be there at home. My name is Fitz, and I'll be there. I'll be there. They call him Mr. Vixen. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah.
is nothing but roses. Life is not a game at sea. But if you've been mistreated by your lover, now darling, come see. And if your heart is shattered, pieces are scattered all across the ground of the land. Just to reach for the phone, I'll be there at home. My name is Fitz, and I'll be there. I'll be there. They call me Mr. Vincent. Oh, yeah. I can fix this thing.
You know what that gonna fix?
You know I can fix it every time. You know I can fix it every time.
You know you're gonna have to indulge me now, innit? You're gonna have to indulge me. Here on the midday meditation, the beautiful sunshine is out. Nina, come through. Come through, my sister. Come through.
Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. It's alright. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. It's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold and lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since you've been here. Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun. I say it's all right. It's all right. Little darling, the smiles are returning to the faces now. Little darling, it seems like years since you've been here. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, feels like years since you've been here. Here comes the sun. I'm glad to see it. See it. It's alright. Here comes the sun, darling. Sing, it's alright, little darling. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I see you. It seems like years when you get around, it comes so right now. You can count on it now. You can come on
Sure. We can't get enough of that.
I'm telling you like it is.
Just can't get enough, huh?
Don't take me for granted. Oh no, I'm a man with much understanding. Oh, and I know just how you're feeling. For deep inside your heart, it's filled with joy. Yeah, filled with joy. Filled with joy right now. Whoa, 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 no. Yesterday, my heart
Better line up the
was
music
filled
now.
with sadness. And today, yes, I'm a
Catch up with the music today.
yeah. You got to stop me, baby. We don't know. We got a better understanding, baby. Don't take me for granted. Oh no, I'm a man with much understanding. Baby. And I know just how I feel it. Deep inside your heart, filled with joy, filled with joy, baby. Baby. Ooh, yeah. You got the best of me. You got your action on forever, forever, baby. Baby, forever, forever. Yeah. Whatever in this world take you away from me. Yes, you got the best of me. You got the better of me. You know it's true. Baby, I won't let go. Won't let go. Yeah, I'm a man with much understanding. So don't take me for granted. No, don't ever take me for granted. Well, I'm a happy man deep inside. Well, baby. See, effects.
It's my button then, you know. Don't come now.
Maybe you don't know me any more than I know you. And I wouldn't blame it if you walked away. I've been watching you all evening with the teardrops in your eyes. And it touches me much more than I can say. You know I hate to think that someone could have hurt someone like you. And if I was him, I'd be right by your side. Lay your heels on my shoulders. Put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love in your eyes. Baby, lay your troubles on my shoulders. Put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love in your eyes. Saw you in the corner from the moment I walked in. Saw your lonely face across the room. No, I won't forget the way things could have been. Why you had to leave so soon. You know I hate to think there's someone that you love instead of me. Cause at times like this I'd be right by your side. Lay your troubles on my shoulders. Put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love in your mind. Baby, lay your troubles on my shoulders. Put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love in your mind. Come and lay your troubles on my shoulders, baby. Cause you're the one I love. You're the only one I love. Come and lay your troubles on my shoulders, baby. You're the one I need.
Don't we know I should play?
You're the one I need. Baby, you don't know me any more than I know.
Okay, then go off script and
Hey, play me if you want to win. I've been watching you all evening with the teardrops in your eye, and it touches me much more than I can say. You know I hate to think that someone could have hurt someone like you, and if I was him, I'd be right by your side. You go, you go.
that's not the one I want you to play. This one here, so I want to play this one here. Last one for today. Last one.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, when I can't sweep you off of your feet, when your mouth still remember the taste of love, when your eyes and smile from your cheeks, darling, when be loving you till 17. Whoa,
Thank you.
people fall in love in this serious face. Touch of a hand. People fall in love with you every single day. Tell you why. Take me into
Let's pass it through. Oh, wow. Salute. Salute. Halfway there. You only do 10 people around here. Happy Earth from here.
When my hair's on the corn and my memory fades, and the crowd don't remember my name.
Make sure it's a big cake, you know.
Hands don't play the streets the same way. I know you used to love me to say,
Oh, look at my eyes.
study your love could never grow. It's evergreen. Yeah, yeah. No, maybe your smile forever in my memory. Yeah, think about how we will fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's another plan. I just keep on making the same mistakes. Hoping that you're
Well done.
yeah. Take me to your yeah. Give me all the stars. Yeah. Place your hand on my beating heart. Figure out now. Maybe we find love right where we are. Maybe we find
Yes. That's our midday meditation this strong here on the galaxy of we.net on the Blacknificent show. Ah, boy, journeying, journeying, journeying. I just had a message from somebody there that they're celebrating their 50th. 50th. Wow. How? Mercy. Get through to that midpoint. Now you can start having your crisis, your midlife crisis. My brother, let me tell you something. Things get a bit more risque. Let's put it that way. They get a little bit more risque as they get as life move on, you know. But it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to be afraid of. Just enjoy the journey because it's your journey. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. No, no, sister, is it? Sorry, sorry. I apologize, sister. Right, right. Just enjoy the journey, yeah. Right, and make sure the cake is big, 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 full of fruits, full of fruits. Okay, make sure the cake is big. Oh, enjoy, enjoy. 50th, you know. 50th. Wow. Midday, midlife. Right, we just come through our midday meditation here on the Blacknificent Radio Show here. Now we journey into the ancestral voices. These are selected pieces that we have that we look at what we can see. We can see the changes that needs to happen and how we can make changes as well. Let's look at the example of the journey of one of the African leaders there, Kwame Nkrumah, and what it took for him to establish a free society, free system. We say this. We say this because even now it is in deep discussion right now of other regions around the world that are looking for freedom as well. So let's just look at the journey of one and take some notes. We shall be coming up with discussions onto this later on as well in our discussion this afternoon with the mind soul connection as well. And we'll be joined by our sister Sandra at that stage as well. So without further ado, let's go and invite to the discourse this afternoon in the ancestral voices, Kwame Nkrumah. We don't know anybody who can speak it like that, do we? I don't know anybody who can speak it like that. currently. Thank you for coming up and go live and contribute, put in question, commentary. You're invited to come and join in this course later on. It's an open discussion as well. Right? I'm eating some dates. I'm eating some dates. Yeah. Wow. Your lunch break. Fantastic. I hope you're finding it inspiring for you. Yeah? Any questions, just drop them in, drop them in, and I hope to see you at a future programs as well. Okay? Nice one. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
With traitors in our midst to deflect us from the path of duty and progress.
On the 21st of February, 1966, President Kwame Nkrumah flew out of Accra on a plane bound for Hanoi, Vietnam. Ironically, he had gone on a peace mission, but in his own backyard, it was all but peaceful. 3 days later, on the morning of 24th February, 1966, the self-proclaimed president for life, Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, was ousted in a military coup.
The overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I'd never seen such an explosion of joy.
We were in prison when we heard that Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. Come and see in the prison. People were weeping because of joy. The prison was full. As for people who died there, oh, you cannot count them. But they were weeping when they heard Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown.
Oh, we remember the whole day, the whole event. As I said, I was a little over 5, so Mercifully, our father was not in town. He was out of the country. And we woke up at the sound of gunshots.
Because of my age, I wasn't aware of what was going on. But she said I was then asking the soldiers who used to guard the presidential palace, that's Flagstaff House, why they were not saluting me on that morning. Because I was not aware of what was going on, that they were overthrowing Nkrumah.
I remember Mother, the first thing she did, two things she did, in fact. One, she told us to pray. And we prayed. Remember, we knelt down and praying. When we finished, she said, okay, now even if they fire at you, nothing will happen to you.
Ghana is passing through a revolutionary period.
The Americans did not like Nkrumah because of the regime he was trying to implant in Ghana, which may encourage other African states to do the same, and also because of the help he was giving to African countries to be that independent.
I used to hear KB Asante talk about the CIA. Of course, it was not like the CIA just came and jumped in. No. So it didn't matter where the support came from. From the CPP, they were prepared to grab it.
In Ghana, we have a proverb or a saying that when the bird stays too long on the tree, it invites a stone.
He went into exile in Guinea, where his friend and liberation comrade, Sekou Touré, gave him refuge and made him co-president. In April of 1972, Kwame Nkrumah drew his last breath in a hospital in Bucharest, Romania. Until he met his death, Kwame Nkrumah had survived 5 assassination attempts, and that is why the phrase, Kwame Nkrumah never dies, was coined.
Earlier in the day, we were told that our father would be coming home. Yes, and of course we were excited. And we all dressed in our finest clothes. Yes, and you're right. Yes, I remember our mother looking particularly good in her chiffon dress. And by the end of the day, an envoy came with this unbelievable news that our father had passed on. So according to the records, he died of cancer. But a few people who were close to him in Guinea are also saying that he could have been poisoned.
There was no reaction to his death.
This is America Cabral, who said that Nkrumah died out of a cancer of betrayal. And there was a lot of betrayal in Nkrumah's days.
Qu'on ne vienne pas nous affirmer que Nkrumah est mort à cause d'un cancer de la gorge ou d'autres quelconques maladies. Non. Nkrumah a été tué par le cancer de la trahison.
I, Robert Gabriel Mugabe, do swear.
People who say Kwame Nkrumah is good and practicing his ideology, I would say Mugabe. Mugabe was grateful to Kwame Nkrumah. But look at Mugabe's style of government. Is it successful? That is the true Nkrumah, a Pan-Africanist who believes in the true identity of the African. Yes, it's good. But practically,
Kwame Nkrumah went down the books of history as the firebrand in Africa's liberation struggle. His vision for a United States of Africa continues to be realized.
The reality is that they didn't stay on. Madiba is gone, Nkrumah is gone, Secretary is gone, Samora Machel is gone, Nasser of Egypt is gone. That is our reality. Our task is to create a new core of leaders, visionary leaders, leaders who want to see Africa free, leaders who want to help Africans to develop confidence in themselves, in their culture, in the food they eat, in the way they dress, in the way they walk, and the way they talk. Leaders who want to encourage Africans to take control of their own resources. We need to engineer those new leaders. That is the task.
I've told you he was a fine man. Nkrumah was dedicated to politics. He loved the nation. He loved Africa. In marriage, he married Africa. He lived and died politics.
The Africa we have today is the legacy he left behind, and a constant reminder that indeed Kwame Nkrumah never dies.
Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought me far.
I am determined that I'll change my way. Thinking of the way it should be. You gotta hope and see the way it should be. You gotta make the humanity. Humanity. Oh, for that we need the love. Talking about it's nothing but useless words. Coming from out of their mouths. You gotta take the way it should be. We gotta hope it we will see. And I'll take the way it should be. We gotta make the bond and heal and humanity. Humanity.
Is it difficult? Is it difficult for us to talk about this?
Coming from out of their mouths.
The lines are open. Lines are open. On 074-953-95360. And also on 0203-576-1786. Thank you for the lights. Thank you. You want to know why? Deep thinker. Respect, man. Respect. Yes, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. I'm going to say thank you for being with us in the Ancestral Voices. Now, let's discuss as we approach certain things that are going to be happening in the near future. In the near future, again, we have in Jamaica, throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world, changing dynamics of how we are looking at each other and how we can do things for each other. Recently, well, say recently, a few years now, right? That Barbados has taken the action of independency and making it a democratic democracy of Barbados. Barbados. Seems to have been swept underneath the bridge because I haven't heard directly in how they are actually representing themselves, or it hasn't been like widely put out there that it's in our radar or in everybody's radar. Well, definitely not in mine anyway. But anyhow, you just take it on to see how things are, right? So if you're in the regions, if you're in those regions over there, and you're listening in right now, how let me say no. Let me rephrase that. What have you seen has been the difference between the transition of like Barbados, right, as it stands, right? What can you see for those who are wishing to take that line for themselves, right? Because I was in discussion a few days ago on this. Hence, that's why I'm bringing this to you right now. We looked at the life of Kwame Nkrumah, right? One of the first leaders to shepherd his region into that state of independency. And of course, doing what he had to do has been a very, very effective and very, very outstanding because even now, they are basking in the glory of what he has done and did do back then. And as you heard in the description of that documentary that I shared, and you can get that on the YouTube, that how deception was the reason of of the downfall. Now let's look on this in a sensible way, right? I know that we could all point the finger at and everything else, but like, are we ready? Are those regions ready for that independence, and are they going to be effective as well? Because over the years, many years now, right? We have seen many regions who have taken that mantle of we want to be free. And you know something, I commend them. I really do commend them for doing it. Right? Am I in support of that? Yes, because I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see anybody in a suppressive state. Right? I do not want to see anybody in a suppressive state in any way whatsoever. I've known of individuals who have gone to various regions or various regions, places in Africa, right? The places that I have visited in Africa, right? And I'm gonna say, even though I love being there, but you could see that there's always that overbearing presence of you're being dictated to in one way or another, whether it be of the religiosity, right, or the social indifferences that they impose upon you. Oh, you're not African. You're not African. You're not one of us. Right? Why? Because we are of the same family, but I just happen to be born somewhere else. Right? Your parentage is not of Africa. No, but my parents' parentage were African. So how far How far and how quick do you cut the ties of my identification or regional identification? Hmm? Even now, recently, I've just I look at it and I look and I do enjoy looking at the different families that are over there in Africa, and I asked them, right? Do you do you see yourself? Do you see yourself, right, as a person who is originally of African or African descendancy, right? And some will say yes, they embrace it, yes, yes. So others will say no. And I will see, and I try to be very honest with myself. I try to be very, very, very honest with myself in my heart. And I'll tell you this no, in my heart, that would be the first region that I would associate myself with. In my heart, that's the first region I would associate myself with. If I wanted to have a land affiliation, regional affiliation, where over there, I do not know. I do not know. I'm not privy to that information. But through descendancy, just like how the Wazungu would turn around and say, "Oh, but I am Italian," or "I'm Spanish," "I'm German." Yeah, just like how they would. They could be born here. "I'm Irish," yet they still associate themselves with their heritage of where their family originates from. So why can't I? Why can't I? And it's just thrown back into our phrase. We are the ones who are the gatekeepers to so many of our people not being comfortable with embracing our identification. And that's the first step. That's the first step. And yes, we have behavioral problems. We have those regional differences. We have the mindset of the westernized persons. This is why, and this is only my thinking. This is only my soul thinking, me. When they give out these invitations, "Oh, you can come. Please come. Come. Bring yourself, bring your family to Africa. We have places for you. We have regions where you can go, you can live to your heart's desire." We have that. We have those places. So when you come, this is what they are missing out on. They should be vetted before they go. Don't get me wrong, we do have the desire to be there. But I feel that they should be vetted before they go. What is your commitment to this transition that you are wanting and seeking? Even though in your inheritance, as a heritage, yes, you are of this region. Acknowledgement of that. I give you the acknowledgement of that. But what are you? Who are you really wanting to be when you come? Are we gonna be the ones who's gonna be babying you all the way, all your life? Do you expect us to roll out the royal carpet for treatment for you? And now here's my step. Here's my step on this now. Here's my step. As diasporians, and I feel that that is the first thing that you have to do. Declare your independency in the region that you are residing in now. Declare your independency right here, right now. Yeah? If you're in America, I am not, no. My identification is not American. You hear me? Declare it where you reside. And this is before you can come to my place about you want to leave from here to go live here, there, and wherever you're going. And then, just like how they would do to many people, and they do to us on a regular basis, you would have to be vetted. You would have to declare yourself a diasporian or even for citizenship as well. But you have to qualify and quantify that you can be. Because look at the young children, them when they're born, they go to their schools over there. They go and do their national service if it's required in that region, right? They go and they contribute what they need to contribute. But you just want to come and just reap and rape, figuratively speaking, okay? You want to go and reap and rape all the hard work and foundation, and then you want to go suck off the hard earnings of others. No. You want to go live in a prime spot and all them things there? Do your time. Do your time. And very importantly, I feel, okay, sorry. I'm coming for your sister Sandra. Sorry, I didn't realize. Very importantly, area. Very importantly, when you are there, you should learn the language. If a 6-year-old can speak it, surely you can as well. And you should be able to converse in the local regional language. Stop embarrass yourself. You know, put it that way. Oh, no, this way. That's a bit better then. Yeah. How are you doing, fresh and ready?
Greetings, Brother Aston, Blacknificent family.
Greetings, my sister. Greetings. Why? She looked like she just come off of a red black carpet out there, so. Yeah, man. Anyway, this is our sister Sandra, right? She's currently residing in Jamaica, and she's internationally known for her works all over all the regions there, right? I don't know if you did hear the ancestral voices this strong, but it was talking about the journey of Kwame Nkrumah.
No, I didn't hear it, unfortunately.
No problem.
The connection's slightly challenging.
Okay.
Bringing up the galaxy, and I don't know if any of the other Blacknificent family found that but going online as I had in the past wasn't as simple or even possible in this
Okay.
instance.
Maybe we had to refresh the connection.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, refresh
Definitely.
the connection. What you have out there, sir? Right? Because because like we've been changing up some things here in the studio.
Mm,
In doing that, the connections or the things that we had previously, or the lines that we had previously, right?
mm,
We've had to update them and everything. So obviously they give you a different code and everything to connect with now. Yeah. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Yes. So I was sharing with the family the journey of Kwame Nkrumah, right? From when when he was born to his passing, right? But also the process that he actually took and what it took for him to be the leader at the time of the region of Ghana in the time of transition from state to independent. Yeah. But in doing that, we just looked at some of the things that what did bring him and the government as he had it at that time, why it collapsed around him. And
Mm,
of course, the old green eye and red eye come up very dominantly in that, and the fact that, you know, let's say two wrongs don't make a right.
never.
Two wrongs don't make a right. And what can we learn from that? What can we learn from that? And this is why I'm stating the things that I feel that should be a requirement for anybody that is going to move to another region, right? That they should go through a vetting process, right? And not only that, that they should have like a form of citizenship entry requirement, right? Like a testing as well, and language communication. I feel that should be part of the process as well. You know,
Mm,
and for because like just even the basics, because there's a lot of people who have been gone to these places, and then it's like they're just a fish out of water,
mm,
you know, which
mm,
which is well, by experience that you have to do your due diligence in a lot of places you go to,
mm-hmm,
isn't it? Right?
mm-hmm,
And if you don't, that you could lose lose out considerably if you don't take actions in a positive way,
mm,
right?
mm.
So what do you say to all of that, in there, my sister?
So it's
In the,
interesting you say that. I would have loved to have listened, but like I said, from a connection point, and I've even given the connection a go whilst you were speaking wrong
mm,
of me. But yes, I wanted just to see whether or not from a refresh it still doesn't work. So
okay.
I'm not sure what's happening at your end.
Yeah.
That said, I know that you'd mentioned Barbados and the decision that they had made. A conversation I've had with two separate people. The question is, Jamaica's looking at doing the same thing, or at least having the conversation.
Hmm.
Whether or not they do it is they're looking to have the conversation. So my understanding is, are we ready? So if you then go back to Kwame Nkrumah
Mm,
and what happened with him, for him, again, without hearing that recording, my understanding is I was watching something on Traore,
mm.
and he's created a United States of Africa passport
All right.
that
Yes. Yes.
that can be obtained by anyone who proves lineage or connection to the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And within that, he was, or reference was made to individuals who wish to come back, certain things that they need to be able to be, they need to, it's not just having somewhere to go back to. There are certain requirements that those individuals need to be able to demonstrate and or show. I'm not sure whether or not, depending on the location or the region that they go to, language is one of them. But having a connection and recognizing the connection, for me, is almost as good as wanting to speak a language for somewhere that you've never been.
Yes.
Because if you understand the historical context and you understand that that's where my foreparents came from, you may be more vested in, if I'm going back, I'm not just going back to fold my arms and put up my feet and tell the rest of the world how great I am, and tell the community that, yes, I'm coming back with my 2 cars, my big house, and land, and all the trappings of the West. I'd anticipate that you would have within that connection, you'd do things slightly different. You'd want to do things slightly different, or you'd strive to do things slightly different. So if we go back to Jamaica and are we ready? The question is, if we're going to do the same thing that we've always done, we're going to get the same result. And that is the sign of insanity. Put some checks and balances in place. It's not just enough to have the conversations, because if you're having the conversations but the right people aren't at the table, or everyone's not invited to the table, then having the conversation for conversation's sake is of little or no value, in my opinion. So there needs to be an element of, we've had independence for 62, 63 years.
63 because it was just a month after I was born, so I'm supervising it.
So you're supervising it, but as a supervisor, you're falling asleep on the job, because there are things that the current
Listen, they need a good kick up their foot bottom.
and if you can't get it right after 63 years, then do you give the child another opportunity to change master and have another go for another 63 years?
No. Watch it now. The things that have been in place. I mean, like, this is my opinion only. I keep having to state this, right? The reason why there has been the failure is because they haven't really cut their ties from the colonial presence, and there hasn't been that process of taking themselves away from the presence of being overlooked and over supervised, because they're still trying to, in my opinion, they're still trying to look for Baka to hold their hand. Yeah. Meanwhile, what they should have done is taken advantage to develop their independent process, right, by re-educating independently their citizens, right, so that the citizenship that would have been here now, like in their 50s and below, they would be ready to be in a position to declare absolute democracy, you know, and unfortunately, a lot of them don't um, don't see it, and a lot of them don't even know what it looks like. Yeah. So, yeah, that's where they failed. That is where I feel that they have failed, as being in Jamaica in its own way. So it's only by posturing that they are declaring their independency.
Well, I say the conversation is a good conversation to be had,
Mm.
I would say that the conversations and the way forward,
Mhm.
as in following the model, and to be fair, Barbados isn't is it the best model or the only model?
No, it's only because it's just the one that has happened recently,
Yeah. So
right?
then,
And that is why I asked. This is why I asked to say, has there been any changes that you have noticed, right? Or like for instance, are they declaring like Republic of Barbados, for instance, you know, or anything like that? Because as far as I know, as far as I understand, right, it's still Barbados. Yeah.
so the language that they use, if I and when I catch the news, and it isn't on a regular basis
Mm.
of late, when they're just gone through it, and the catching of the news that I happen to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
So they will use the word Barbados, and they will frame it in terms of them being a republic, but I've not heard the Republic of Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
Not heard that terminology. I've not seen it in the written context with the times that I bought the paper. But like I said, the discussions may be had, and the conversations and the rhetoric and the way of addressing Barbados may be there, but I've just not heard it. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not being done.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel that even looking on that as an example,
Mm.
right? And obviously, we're sort of like saying, well, being like Jamaica as it has been, big and broad and bossy as it is, right? We got no room to make any slip ups or to look incompetent, right?
And if we took the challenge, we use that as a model and use their model, are we able to step up to the table and eat? And the question I would say is, I would love to say yes. And to be fair, I will really, really, really love to say yes. The conversations I've had with two separate people, someone from the diaspora, but someone also born and bred in Jamaica.
I'm hoping that our Mighty Conscious will join us in this discussion as well.
Okay.
Being a resident in Jamaica now.
Okay.
I've got a call online. Brother Ade, welcome, my brother. Welcome to the Blacknificent Show.
Welcome, brother.
Joined
Yeah,
by.
how you doing? How both of you doing? You good?
Yes, we're doing. Well, one is doing a lot better than me.
But I can see that your background picture is drinking a coconut, so you can get coconut in your side of town. It may have traveled thousands of miles, but you can still get it.
£10 for two. £10 for two.
That's a
What, in the market in London?
Yeah.
No, you can get 3 for £10.
Yeah,
but it's not the same as what we get back home anyway. But
okay, no need to rub it in.
See, I wasn't even going to go there. Even though I saw someone, interestingly, sorry, I'm diverting. Often you guys can get it in a box with packaging. I don't go down that road, but if you've got no choice.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yes, but yes, but you've got your choices are somewhat limited. So over here, my choice is get it fresh from the tree or get it out of a bottle, a plastic bottle. So I choose not to get it out of a plastic bottle because I don't know what's been added. I don't know. I'm not happy or convinced that it's pure. But I did see a brother who just froze the coconut in its entirety, pulled it out rather than using a machete, used something slightly more stronger. Cut it in half, scooped out the middle like you'd scoop out a slushy, put it in a bag and give you a straw. And I thought, I love the way that he did that because that's something I would buy because then I know it's definitely cold. And then he threw on some fresh one that hadn't been frozen. No, the one that hadn't been frozen.
Okay.
you had the mixture of
Quickly.
the frozen plus the one that's not frozen.
Mm.
I like the ingenuity of that. You need a big freezer, but I prefer that rather than putting it in a bottle.
So I'm giving you a coconut slushy.
Yeah. Beautiful. But I digress, brother. You
Okay.
Joined us.
Yeah.
I'd like to add to the
No,
conversation.
she likes to do that, just to tease me. All right.
Touching on Barbados,
Yes, please. Yes.
But asking, they couldn't declare Republic nation. Yeah, they couldn't declare.
They can?
Yeah, they can. Yeah, because once the British low flag, they swore no allegiance to Prince Charles or King Charles now. No, there's no allegiance. Grenada is going down that road. They said they're removing their oaths.
You see?
Right. It's complicated. It's sort of free, just like the ladies there. But I'm sort of in the middle. But I believe once you remove the lower the flag, you so-called Union Jack, you could amend certain level of the Constitution. Yeah. Barbados they're trying to do that, and they could do that. So within the next 2 years, they can declare to become a republic.
Right. You see what you're saying there now? Obviously, through the ceremonial Declaration of Independence, that usually is the process anyway, right? Of lowering the flag and then replacing it with their own new flag, right? Now, obviously, Jamaica has gone through that, right, as an independent, right? But yet their judicial system is still under the law of Britain.
Yeah, but brother Astro, the next thing you do, you remove the Governor General. Once the flag is lowered, the Governor General will go. You can use Hong Kong, for example, with the Chinese. Once Peyton, there was a man called Peyton there in the early 90s. Yeah, once everything comes down, you could, the people who were getting this so-called independence or whatever they get, can remove certain things from the Constitution. So for Jamaica example, I mean, there's a Governor General, the Prime Minister, is sort of a representative at this stand of King Charles.
Yeah.
It's not good. Just not,
exactly.
Which means, they're constantly tampering with the laws. I mean, for example, if they want to put somebody, so that King Charles could pardon somebody in Jamaica. That is not right.
I know.
So then,
go ahead, Sister Sandra.
So then my question is, lowering the flag, to be fair, is actually easy. That's just something that anyone could do, man, woman, or child. Taking and saying, yes, I'm no longer going to be, King Charles is no longer going to be the final arbiter regarding the jurisdiction and the law. Again, that's easy. My question would be, and we've got an election that has been called. It's official. It's going to be the 3rd or 4th of September. So a couple of people I've spoken to who say they're going to vote. My question is to you: is what policies are you voting for? It's easy to call an election, but if you can't tell me what policies you're voting for, it's very similar to I can take down the flag and put up another one, or say I am a republic. But what systems do you have in place that will help you from a negotiating with the other Caribbean islands, let alone the other countries in Africa and or further afield?
What? Brother, I have to say it depends on the people. It's the people. It's what the people want. They got so-called independence, but as long as the removal of the Governor General is paramount to do that. Once you do that, then then it comes back to Britain, whoever appointed him, whether it's the crown or the king or whatever you call it, whoever crown him, that's just it. But the influence still remains. Like just the lady, just like what the ladies alluded to, the influence. But there's many ways, to turn the things around. It will take time, yes. Because due to their influence, I mean, which colonial, places Britain now where they haven't appointed a Governor General, whether from the Queen, the last Queen we died a couple of years ago, practically everywhere, because most of the so-called independence was achieved under the Queen Elizabeth II, or whatever she called herself. You know?
So yeah, so if you lower the flag, unless you've got the systems in place to the judicial systems whereby you will have a clear roadmap in terms of how you'll deal with crime in your country and the final point of call, unless you've got those systems in place, to me, there's no point removing one governor general or one way of what's the word I'm looking for? Removing one way of removing the system that provides the ultimate. If someone has done wrong, this is how we're going to deal with them. Unless you've got a system in place, then there's no point removing them.
Yeah, well, you're right there, because a lot of people have even the colonial system, because they got the mindset that, oh, life was better. Yeah, so it may be better. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're not kids, we're not children. We have to determine our own destiny. With this stage where none of this colonial thing which occurred within the last 200 years, it's not going to ever happen again. It's all about mindset now.
And I don't think that we've got that mindset. So again, I was watching Traore, and some of the things they allegedly, and I see no reason not to disbelieve what the reports are saying that I was just listening to. They say that, and I was wrong because I was thinking that he's very similar to Elon Musk in relation to his thought process. And then I corrected myself. I said he's actually better than Elon Musk. And the reason why is because he will wake up in the morning with an idea. By the afternoon, he's had the right discussions with the right people. And by evening, he's put it into place. Because the model that he's using isn't a European model that requires a number of upper houses, lower houses, discussions, petitions. It's not a 6-month thing in order to get things done. And they were just talking simply about the road and how they are improving the roads and the material that they're using. A lot of the materials which are the plastics and the tires, but they're mixing that with other materials in order to change the road. The other thing they were talking about was the United States of Africa passport.
Right, David, moving so backwards.
The time it had taken to put that policy, bearing in mind the idea and they've done it, and they've actually had to slow it down because there's so many people in the Americas and all the world who want to get access to the passport. So again, he needs to think about the systems in place. So does Jamaica have systems in place if you're going to get rid of the monarchy, the republic, if you're going to go down that road? And I would say at the moment in time, we're not thinking fast enough in order to make those changes.
Yeah, but Jamaican people have to think fast, because the people of Barbados think fast, didn't they? But
they don't.
Stages anyway. Barbados situation is sort of different. Obviously, they're more like, I won't say they're Uncle Tom, whereas Jamaican country don't take no nonsense. This is what the issue was.
But
it's a divide and rule system. They always put people in Africa as an example. They put people that that put red carpet on them and bow to them. There's so many governments that bow to British. The so-called they've got independent. Governor General is gone.
Okay, listen now.
So one of the things.
Hold on. Sorry, hold on, brother Adam. Right, before you go a bit further on what you're doing right now, obviously pointing out the things that are missing right now, right? There has to be a totally independent movement of not only or removement of the standing and sitting governmental judicial system, but there has to be a replacement of some sort, right, of governorship,
Yeah.
right? Ready to go to
Step in.
move in to take over.
Yeah.
There is no movement or anything outside of what currently is there,
Mm.
because they're fighting amongst themselves even though they live in the same house,
Mm.
right? And it takes somebody from outside now to say, yo, all of you lot are evicted,
Mm.
right? And we're taking over the whole shebang.
Mm.
You understand?
Mm.
Right?
But,
And
but,
that
but, that, but,
hmm?
but that's the next part. These people in the house cannot see what's going on, and it takes an outsider who could actually see into what's going on. It can't work like that. You know, it's the people that live in the property must know where everything is arranged or
But they
disarranged.
do know. That's why they're playing tennis in the same court.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do know what's going on.
Mm.
But unfortunately, as Sister Sandra says, 63 years and nothing's been done.
So, if you take it just from an economy point of view, Barbados dollar before they gained their republic
Mm,
was always strong
mm,
when you put it against the pound and or the dollar, the American USD.
mm,
Jamaican's currency at this present moment in time is what, $217 for one English pound? It's
mm,
not strong.
mm,
So that tells you that from an economics point of view, that ship has not been steered in an appropriate manner, and the way that the finances are being managed
mm,
and who you're going to in order to help you bail you out of those said finances. I know at one point they often said that, was it Margaret Thatcher or the Conservatives sold all the family silver?
mm.
So there was nothing left. BT, all of the various corporations had been sold. The same is in Jamaica. We can get away with it in the UK because of how wrongly or rightly
Mm.
they are positioned in the world. But as Jamaicans, you can't get away with it and then say you want to become a republic and your finances aren't strong. Your rate of currency is not strong against
Mm.
the others. So that'd be my challenge to anyone who's saying, okay, we're going to go down the republic route, but we're not manufacturing anything, we're not growing anything, we're not exporting anything that's bringing in currency at the rate that we need to, so we can actually have a conversation on a level playing field. We are shipping things in when we shouldn't be shipping things in.
Mm.
We've
Mm.
got sunshine and we've got soil and we've got
Mm.
any things in between that should enable us to
Mm.
export more than import.
As we've had the conversations previously, and we're talking over the last like 5, 6 years, right? In various contributors to the various programs we have here on Galaxy. You have spoken on into this, right? That how powerful could a small island like Jamaica be, not only for the regions but influential in the Africas as well.
Hmm.
And if it was governed in the appropriate way, as an independent way, right? I'm going to take this call here, so you might lose you, brother Ade, right? Okay, Elder Akram. I, if we, if I, sorry, if that was really governed in the way that it could be a little jewel. Well, it should be the jewel of the Caribbean, and influential enough to make an impact globally in its own right. But unfortunately, due to the mismanagement of the entire island there, right, and obviously the apathetic view of many of the islanders themselves, because if they took the responsibility of being true citizens, active in that way, that this would never happen, and it should never happen in the way that it is happening right now. You know. Anyhow, let me just take in brother. We got Akram. Yes, yes. Greetings, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah,
Greetings, brother.
when I interrupt Sister Sandra and I interrupt Brother Ade, and
Yes,
so
yes.
the Galaxy family
I'm
came from
hoping.
Isaac.
I'm hoping that
Yeah.
he's still around, but I'm not too sure. If he
Yeah,
is.
I just got in at the end of the clip of you playing with Brother Puma.
Oh,
But,
you're good friend.
yeah, no, I love the brother. I mean, it's just that I think that a lot of people, you see, we have to understand the world that we're living in, and everything is not just clear black and white.
Yes, I know. Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Hence,
I
that's
mean,
why.
the fact is that his idea was a great idea.
Mhm.
But even if they were able to put that into place,
Mm.
and we are guaranteed that it would have been success, it's a great idea. But as I'm saying, I mean, okay, it didn't happen, but it doesn't mean that it should not have happened after that. You understand? Because he put the thing in place.
That's right. Put the foundation
And I
there.
remember reading about him, and I'm still looking for it. I don't know where to put it. But because I grew up at the time when they had the federation in the Caribbean. Okay, I was young. They had the federation, and I remember the ships that Canada gave them, and they used to sail up and down the up and down thing. And apparently, he wrote to the Caribbean people to beg them, please don't break up this federation. Please make it success. Work at making this a success, because it then will be a model for me to show our brothers and cousins here on the continent. This is what I'm trying to get us to do. Look at our cousins across the pond. See how they come together. See how they're working. See how, you know what I'm saying, right? It was been a great model for something smaller, because what we have to understand is Africa was just becoming independent, right? And I don't think that at the time, he probably had a great knowledge of it from a very long time, because he was in America, growing up with the activists over there, right? Understanding the Marcus Garvey solution and all the other activists over there at the time, right? And he became independent sometimes all 5, 6, 7 years before many of the other places had the opportunity to become a. So many people was not on that wavelength at the time when he came in. You understand what I'm saying, right? And as I said, I really believe it was a great idea. And what I'm saying, I'm looking at the politics of the world and the reality. We have to deal with the reality of life. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's sad that it didn't happen then. But as I said, some of the people, they were saying, wait a minute, all of us are not yet independent.
That's
right?
right. That's right. Oh, one of the things, I mean, like, I put some suggestions forward, and it's only of my own thinking. It's only of my own thinking, and like reviewing and seeing that we are very fortunate that we're in that position that we can do at this time, right? We can review things that has happened in the past with other independence journeys, right? Other regions that have been independent, successful or not, partly successful, and those who have been allowed to develop their regions, because I think that a lot of them have been restricted, and obviously, all, well, with all the leaders that has been unalived. I think that's the new terminology, isn't it? Unalived over the years, which has been a terrible thing. That is, I feel that has been a big hindrance for the world's development in that way. But like as I said, for to really declare and make an impact that is necessary, right? Especially like as I say, on that little island of Jamaica there, and I say little island compared to the rest of the other regions out there, it needs to really get its act together. It needs to get its act together, and And there needs to be the uprising, I feel, of the new generation that has to cloak itself and really put its foot down and step up to the plate now. Because remember, those leaders and those people who are sitting there now, they're not going to be around forever, right? Over the next 20, 30 years, they're going to be falling like flies anyway. So, you know what? It's time for you guys to just step up now and say, "Oh, this is our time. This is our time." You know, Sister Sandra.
Yeah, and the fact is, as I said, I mean, coming back to that situation of Jamaica, the Caribbean countries becoming independent. And, as I said, I've been watching the world situation over the years, right? And for the last 30 years, I've been doing a lot of stuff from the world and development and
We
so
know,
forth.
yes. Yeah.
And there is no reason why Jamaica cannot be at the top. There's no reason why it's hanging on.
And it's not just by
It
size.
has enough resources. It has, look, it's a little country in the Caribbean, but it's playing a big role in the stage of the world at the moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's having such an impact on the world that, I go into shops here, and I'm saying, wait a minute, this Jamaica, shops that, I mean, whether they're from Jamaica or not, but it's a brand that sells. You understand me? So whether the people are using it as a thing, this is from Jamaica, this is Jamaican product, that whether it's true or not, but the fact is, it's a brand that sells.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, right? As soon as somebody says Jamaica, yeah, I'll take that, man. It's Jamaica thing. You know what I mean? You see? So
yeah, but be careful with that as well. Allow Sister Sandra to come through. Come through, Sister Sandra.
Greetings. Yeah, it's a brand that sells, but we've already sold it up the river, so we're not making any money off of it.
Well, exactly.
You go anywhere and you say that you're Jamaican or you live in Jamaica.
Hold on, brother Akram. Allow Sister Sandra to finish her point, please.
Yeah, sorry.
You go anywhere and you say that you've lived in Jamaica or you're Jamaican, and a red carpet gets put out. However, if that funds and that finance and the accolades are not coming back and being used appropriately within the country, then to some degree, someone else is then making money off of the name, the label. And when I think about Barbados, I think about the currency and how they've been able to manage their resources before they became a republic, and regardless of what they're doing now. Jamaica's never been in that position where they've managed their resources. They're selling their resources and selling the proverbial silver. And the name, the flag, the branding, all of those things should have been locked down from the day of independence, because those are the things that other people are now embracing and using and putting on their labels and putting in their shops and saying it's a product of or it's from. There's a percentage out of 100, which bit of it is from Jamaica. Oh, it's the flag, but the flag or the colors or the formation doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't generate an income. And brand Jamaica can generate, in some senses, a better income than the resources that you've got in the soil. But we've just never harnessed it. And it's too late now in order to harness it, because there are too many people who have various fingers in the pie for that to be done with any great, for the leverage of that to make any financial difference.
Well, I mean, I never knew about Kamala Harris's father, but apparently he gave a plan to the government of Jamaica for the upliftment, and apparently, from what I'm hearing, I don't know, but they said it was a great plan. I mean, of which I think Singapore and all those places has gone down that line and so forth. And look at where Singapore is today. Singapore is just a little country, just about the size of St. Lucia or something like that. And it's one of the richest, well, it's the second richest country in the world, right? Well, you know, size of St. Lucia. Jamaica is over 20 times that size, right? And with a lot more product and everything. And as I said, a brand that can you know, can do things. But the point is, one of the other things we have to also look at, that once you're under the government, every time you make a decision, although you are supposed to semi-independent, you still have to get approval from the UK and thing, or from your colonial masters in order to move ahead. Whereas if you're totally independent, you don't have to. And that's why sometimes
But being totally independent, not having the system, so there's no point you exchanging one colonial system for another if you're not going to create your own, if you're not going to stand in your own power, if you're not going to put the systems in place. And those systems don't just start with the judicial. There's got to be the systems from an education point of view. There's got to be a systems in terms of the trading point of view. There are so many systems that would need to be put into place in order for it to for there to be a working model. And at the moment, the model is not working. So yes, they may have a blueprint, but if you've got the blueprint and you're not doing nothing, they had a blueprint for Marcus Garvey and they've not done anything with that before. So why are they going to take a blueprint 60 years on and do anything different with it?
Okay, let me see if it's working now. Okay, let me see. Brother Ade?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
Asking just quickly, just my brother Akram mentioned Singapore. I mean, Hong Kong, everybody knows part of China.
Yeah.
But it was colonized by British. But just like I said earlier on, in 1997 or 1996, they have to succeed it back to China. But it's a financial hub. It's a financial hub.
But they least.
This is why Rihanna ties into Barbados. You know, Rihanna, the musician or the singer, so-called one of the richest women or the richest musician in the world. Influential role she played. I don't know. I'm just suggesting. And due to the location of Bermuda, strategically it's closer to America, isn't it? Bang in the middle, near Bahamas. That's another place where people go and store ill-gotten money, should I say.
One of the things you have to...
So it's conducive for them to use all these places in order to rapidly speed up their independence due to the financial, money. It's all about money laundering at the end of the day.
Well, listen, that is one element, obviously, a factor in this thing here, right? But if it's a thing that is like, for instance, like what's in Cuba, right? Say yes, that is a factor, but also at the same time they're balancing the education, the support of the citizens over there as well, right? And obviously, because of the state of what the place was in, right, that it was a extreme dictatorial area, right? When they came to their liberation, everybody was behind that. The majority of the citizens was behind that liberation. Unfortunately to say, what's happening in, like, and I'm only using this as an example, that's in Jamaica, right? They're not suffering enough. Right? They're not eating roaches and anything that moves. Yeah? Right? They haven't had a starvation or famine in Jamaica in that way. Yeah? The only thing that they're struggling with, at the moment is obviously financial distribution, right? But the fact is that they are poised to make a massive impact right now. They're right on it. They're right on the cusp of what needs to be done. You know? Right?
But again, Brother Aston, that goes to the mindset. And you're not just talking of Spanish-looking, European-looking Cubans, the Afro-Cubans as well. They all were raped.
They've got them from all over the world in that area there. right? Remember, just like in the island of the Caribbeans, they have the massive employment. What can I say? There was a lot of people from like the different regions that used to come there to work, seasonal work as well. So yeah. Right.
Anyway, and let brother
Brother
Akram continue speaking.
Yeah.
Nice to speak to you and the lady there. Okay.
Okay. Then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Come to brother.
Yeah. No. As I was saying, the thing is that what we have to also understand, being under the crush of these people, sometimes it can be hindrance, or sometimes it can be for the good. Depends on what you are. Because sometimes you may want to put something in place, or you may want to work with a certain group of people. And they say, well, no, you can't, because, he's our enemy, or he's this, or he's that. Right? Whereas if you're totally independent, you don't have to be asking them any questions or abiding by anything that they say. Right? As long as somebody's going to do good for your country, you just go ahead with it. But you see, but when you're still part of that system, you say, well, I want to work with such and such because they're going to bring some good investments in. So Jamaica, that could be a hindrance in Jamaica right now, right? Because the British government said, no, you can't bring this in here because this and so forth. So you need to be totally independent, right? In order to move forward. Now, again, I was looking at Ireland again, right? Ireland the other day. I mean, I went over there several years back, and I realized how the situation of this British people and how they are. But just the same way that they had us, similar way. I mean, they had a little bit better, but mainly they didn't do anything for Ireland. They never invested anything there. They did nothing for it. Now Ireland is about the third richest country in the world. You see, since they joined the European Union, they've now become the third, just behind Singapore. Maybe in time we'll overtake Singapore because they came up later. But the fact is that I'm just saying that certain decisions that you can make when you are in control of your own self, right? And the sadness for me when you are looking at that situation with Kwame Nkrumah and how these people oust him, and when I look back at PLO Lumumba and Patrick Lumumba, and I'm saying those other soldiers around, why did they not say, wait a minute, this is our leader. Why you obey that man? Why do you allow that other person to overthrow that guy? Don't you feel any empathy for your people? That this is the wrong thing to do, and you all didn't put up a fight against it.
This right. You see what's happening there, right? Now let's look at it from our perspective, and I'm glad you brought that up. How many of us would be willing to go pick up weapon now to go fight against that? Huh? How many of us? Right? Some of us are scared of the door creaking. Let alone go defend yourself and your human rights. So we have to really look at things and put them into perspective of what we can do and what we are willing to do. We won't even go sign a petition to Rockstone to go have discussions about this in our so-called democratic system. This is how weak some of us are right here, right now. Sister Sandra, what do you have to say on this now? No, you have to unmute yourself.
I agree with you. I without watching the or listening to the clip, and from what I remember, it is a case of there are geniuses born in on every continent, in every country. The question is, are they heard,
Mm,
and how are they heard?
mm,
So if we think about our current in Burkina Faso, we think about
mm,
what he's doing and those that he has around him
mm,
and the changes that he's making. It could
mm.
be a case of he's making the changes so fast that there are more people for him than against him.
Same
And
like what's happened with Kuma and Kuma.
and then it becomes a I'm gonna protect your so and he said, because someone did ask the question allegedly, what
Mm,
happens if you're assassinated? What happens with the movement? Because
mm,
there were so many people for him, his rationale was the movement would continue.
mm,
You can take me out, but there's going to be another. And I remember reading Steve Biko back in the day, and
mm,
one of the things that was the question was how many. Well, it was the question was alluded to. There are many Steve Bikos that are born in and around South Africa. The question is, if they take one out, will someone stand up and continue the conversations?
mm,
No one did, and no one has. It'd be interesting to see whether or not we know historically a lot of our leaders have been taken out. The question is, who do they have around them? Which of
mm,
the people around them that are benefiting and or building would stand up if their leader's taken out?
mm,
So I don't want the leader of Burkina Faso to be taken out, but I understand the work that he's doing may mean that if they do take him out, it will make
mm.
very little difference because someone else is going to step up in a space in little or no time, and
Yeah.
it's will be that train will continue to move,
Mm, mm.
and
This
that's what you want.
and
You want to lay the foundation that someone else, because someone's going to take you out. That's human nature. This greed, that's the ego. That's call
this
it
is
what
how
you
this
want.
system works.
Yeah,
This is how, well, it's accepted within
yeah.
this system.
So
Yeah.
it's either going to be your own or someone who looks very much like you, who's being paid by someone else in order to do it.
That is a sad thing in its own right because as we pointed out, like and in playing that clip, yeah, I think it was 5 times that they tried to assassinate Kwame Nkrumah,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And even though they tried to assassinate him in that way, there, right? It was still a thing of that who would be doing this and why,
mm,
right? And
mm,
like, let's learn from the lessons from before, right? I'm very glad that Ibrahim Toure has been able to survive, right? From now, and I hope that he will survive into the future. But you know that this is going to be a thing that is going to be an ongoing uh, pursuit of whoever's trying to demise him,
yep,
anyhow,
yep,
right? And rightly said, as you just said, who's going to be willing to take over from what he's doing right at this time, right? Even though he's only recently uh, uh, taken on the mantle of presidency, right? But not in the sense of that he's lording it over everybody that I am now the president in that way there, right? I think it was a kind of like a reluctant, oh, okay then, well, somebody has to do it for now,
mm,
and that's I think that's the position that he's holding in that way there, you
mm,
know. But in many ways, there needs to be a competent person, right, and a system put in place that is going to take this thing forward.
mm,
And we need it. We need it right now to see that it's in action. And just like when the initial impetus of this thing started, we need to be supporting it,
mm,
right?
mm,
And let me tell you something, not by just name only,
mm.
but by our actions as well. So when it comes to everybody declaring their allegiance, let me see you stand up and do them things there too, and learn the new national anthem as well. Yeah.
No, I smile and I'm just nodding along because I agree with you that there needs to be more. But like I said, from the little clips that I've heard, he appears to keep it moving. But if you're involving the people, the community, the children in that movement, you've got a greater chance of it being successful with or without him at the head of the table, because those conversations are being had and the output and the impact is being felt not only by those around him, which a lot of the leaders do. It's those around them who eat well, who travel well, who live a lavish lifestyle, who live behind the gated communities, who have the butlers and the, hang on a minute, we've just exchanged one dictatorship or one ruler for another. We just all look alike, but we're still using the model, which is a broken model. What he appears to be doing is throwing that model out of the window and moving more down that Afrocentric model, that inclusive model, that village mentality model. And as long as he's moving in that direction, we know it works. Someone wanted to destroy it over 400 how many years ago. They persecuted us over so many years ago because they saw that the models that we were living in and living with were working. So if he's going back to that, then kudos to him. Kudos to him.
It needs to be
You know, my sister, people, I study the man and I listen to him. I listen to all his words that he speaks and how he speaks, okay? And one of the things is he's putting it to the people, as you rightly said. He is involving the people, okay? He's involving the people. And again, many people may not like it or understand it, but he's a Muslim, okay? And what I see that he's doing is using a lot of the strategies that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had imbued in what he was doing, right? And one of the things that he did was making sure that the people is engaged in what he's doing. Most of our prime ministers and presidents now, they don't do that. Julius Nyerere, one of the men that many of our people seem not to like very much, he used to do that. He used to go and sit down with the fishermen and talk with them. He used to go and sit down with the farmers and talk with them. You understand? You see, you cannot be running a place and you don't know what the other, what citizens are doing or what is their problem. You need to go and engage with them. And this is something that he is doing. And basically, one of the things he also said, which is also one of the things that came out from the book, is that he said, look, because, I'm not going to be here forever. But if they take me out, are you all going to allow them to take you, to put you back where you was? Right? I've done my best to bring you all out from that thing. Are you all going to allow yourself to go back? And he's pushing that. I sent out something yesterday, one of the greatest speeches that I've ever heard from anybody, and from him, right? I don't know if you listened to it, I put it out there, where they said that this speech was taken down from YouTube, and the guy played it. But it's a very powerful speech. And it's that he emphasized about the traitors among them. He's not afraid to speak out, right? So the traitors among us, traitors who are kept us in this stupid way that we're in. Why are they doing it? There's no need for us to be in that vein. So he knows that what he's doing, he's got public enemies, a lot of enemies, right? He knows that. But the point is, it is something that has to be done.
So true, so true.
Mm.
All right, let's take a couple of minutes break, and we shall be returning straight after this message. Moving the subject along of discussion this afternoon with myself, Sister Sandra, and everybody. Ooh, not yet, not yet. Moving the subject of discussion. My sister, share with us, please. What have you been up to?
Say that again, Brother Aston.
I said, share with us, please, what you have been up to over the last few days.
Okay. Well, it's been longer than the last few days. It's been the second half of July and the first half of August. So a number of the projects that I was involved in came to fruition. So we did the pageant with Mr. and Mrs. Rio Grande Valley, children, getting them involved, recognizing or embracing so that they can recognize and embrace their culture. And it almost goes back to the previous conversation in terms of who do you get involved when you're doing something. If I, as a parent or as a guardian or the leader, runs ahead and does it for everybody, then those who need to know aren't necessarily engaged. And those who want to know say, well, if you can do it, then there's no point me getting involved. So in getting the children involved, we're encouraging them to not only just know where they're born, but bear to have a dialogue with others about where they're born, to bear to talk about the good things, the bad things about their community, to talk about their heritage, so that they can feel proud of, and they do feel proud of, and they recognize that there are many people that wished that they were in your shoes, born where you're born, be able to trace their lineage back in the same way that a number of these, all of those young people can. And the things that they take for granted, which we do when we live in a space, we take many things for granted. We're not always present, that they can think, hang on a minute, when the elders are talking about their rich cultural heritage, let's stop. Let's put down the tablets or the electronic devices and let's listen. When the drum's being played, let's listen. When the abeng's being blown, because it's been blown for a reason, let's ask our elders why. And sometimes those elders don't know because they've not been present. But let's not keep skipping generation against generation against generation. So let's ensure then that the knowledge is shared. We talked about, or I alluded to the fact that we are having an election coming up. And we were speaking about Jamaica becoming a republic and what needs, whether or not that's possible or feasible. But if you're thinking about it in terms of those young people who are born in a community that gained their independence so long ago, and conversations are being had whereby they're not being involved in those conversations, we need to address those things. So the cultural pageant gives the young people an opportunity, like I said, to embrace their cultural heritage. So that when we done that on the 6th of August, Independence Day, and we will do it again.
Well done. Well done. It gives them an alternative focus, not just, oh, let's go out and celebrate the process of what was given to them as an independent. See, it gives them something to focus on that they can identify with as well, isn't it?
Well, when we went to on Emancipation Day, we went to Scots Hall, and one of the speakers spoke, and he said, well, two things were said on that occasion. One of the colonels said, we need to fix up as colonels across Jamaica. We need to fix up because changes need to be made. And currently we are, and this is his words, my translation of his words, we can't be singing and dancing all our lives and not making changes. Discussions are being had from a political point of view, and we're not involved in it, and we need to be involved in it. I've heard the other colonels say exactly the same thing. I've heard, I've forgotten his first name, but saying something else, saying the same thing. So there's a number of them saying the same things. You can't have a conversation about us without us. You can't talk politically unless we are involved. So at that event, someone did say, I was going to say Bruce Golding, but it's not Bruce Golding, but it's one of his, I think it's his grandson, said 30% of Jamaicans vote. So whatever the decision is, and I think it's possibly about the same in the UK, maybe, I don't think it's 50 or 60, it's definitely not 100%, 75%. And in the Americas, it's the same type of figure, that there's a small number of people that are making the decisions for everyone else. Question is that those children are part of the future, and some of them are going to have a voice that will impact the trajectory of the community, and they can impact the trajectory of the community. So that's one of the reasons why we did it. And then the other project that I was involved in was Beyond Horizon Conference.
Yeah, beyond the horizon.
Yes, and that was on the 8th, so that was
Mm.
a few days later.
Do give us a brief description of that, because there might be maybe some listeners who never heard of this before, right?
So it was a conference that was aimed at having the discussions with seniors and active seniors, and
Mhm.
recognizing now that the retirement age is being shifted and keeps being moved, because they recognize that individuals of that age are no longer getting to an age called X and then transitioning. There are more active seniors who have and who can continue to make a beautiful contribution in society. So the current MP or minister who is came and spoke at the conference. One of the beauties about him speaking at the conference, one of the things that he said he grew up in a household where there were 3 generations. It was his parents and his parents' parents, and he knew his grandparents, but not many children get that opportunity, whether it be in Jamaica and or other parts of the diaspora, get the opportunity of growing up in the same household as their grandparents. So they get a different view of life. The children keep grandparents just energized, and the children can learn so much from the grandparents who have earned the right to many degrees to be heard and be listened to. So the conference was tapping into that side of things, whereby there is a discussion currently going on in Jamaica. There's I don't know whether or not the paper's green, white, pink, or blue, but there's a discussion going on in terms of how the seniors are treated from an abuse side of things.
Wow.
And both parties are talking about it. It's gone through at least one of the political rings, and they want to put things in place because they recognize that elders, seniors are being abused, and it's not just the financial, because that's in some senses easy but not easier, but it's the physical abuse, it's the mental abuse, it's the spiritual abuse, it's just abuse in all its formats. Often by the family, who in some senses, rather than strangers, it's the way that they're telling it is that it's the family have just as much say in that level of abuse as it is as a stranger, and they're looking to deal with it. So the minister touched upon that, but the conference is not looking at it on that side. The conference is looking at it in relation to seniors, active seniors who are active, who do have a contribution. And it's encouraging to some of the conversations that were had, and some of the speakers was talking about kinship and family structure.
Wow.
So about the family structure. They were talking about, from a health point of view, they were talking about from how do we continue to promote the active living and active lifestyles, whereby we don't assume because you're an elder, you're okay. Elders also have needs, wants, rights. Their voices need to be heard. And in some environments, they're just shut down. So a lot of elders, if you look around in Jamaica and in other parts of the world, will be in the churches. But then they get to an age where they may not choose to go to the church, or may not choose to go out with their family or with their friends or visit other people, because when they are at home, they're close to the facilities that they may need, whether it be the toilet, the bathroom, whatever. they can make it to those spaces, and if there are accidents that are had, they can clean themselves up and sort themselves out. But if you go out and you find yourself in a situation where you need to use a bathroom, there are things that you need and or want, the decisions that you wish to make, that you just take a little bit longer in order to make those decisions, but other people are hurrying you up because they think at you as not necessarily as an elder, as someone who has a 40-year-old brain that can make decisions quickly, can run to the bathroom quickly, can say that they want to do, able to do, would like to do. So the conference encourages us to see the seniors in the light that they are in and celebrate their achievements, celebrate their discussions, encourage them to have conversations with the younger generation, so you get an opportunity to mix the energy from the young with the seniority from the seniors, and you've got a nice little mix in the middle whereby both parties understand one another, communicate with one another, and you can build that knowledge and exchange that knowledge in a way whereby it's beneficial to not only those individuals, but the families and society. So that conference has been scheduled for next year. So that was in Montego Bay. And the conference has been scheduled for next year, 2026, in Kingston, the last Friday in July.
Okay.
Those discussions need to be had.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because like, obviously it's going to be an ongoing project,
Yeah.
right? And I'm very glad. Did you find also, right? Did you find also that? Let me see. I'm going to put it. Did you find also that what they were speaking about, right? That they were surprised that this conversation hadn't happened previously. Was you surprised with that?
So all of the speakers recognize that the conversations are had in pockets, but the conversation has not been had out loud. So they were they surprised that the conversations hadn't been had? I don't think they were surprised at that because, to be fair, we often have a lot of shiny things around us that distract us and take our mind off of. So we know that those who are growing older, and statistics regardless of the country, you know that more people are living longer. That's a statistical fact across the globe. But the conversation in terms of how do we manage and or respect. So in some communities, and they recognize that, in some countries, they said one, it will come to Japan, I think it is, seniors are revered. Getting to a certain age is not only a milestone, but it's a celebration. So the conversations are going to be had in some communities, but it's not happening in Jamaica and in many communities in the West. What's classed as a first world country, they are often ignoring and or putting to one side those who are seniors. And if you're an active senior, so the doctors are quite happy to manage those conversations if needed, because you are on their patient list and you go and visit them on a regular basis. But then, the medical profession. But the active seniors, those are the conversations that aren't being had. And do the speakers individually recognize those conversations aren't being had? And they were happy to come forward and be part of the conference, and we'll be looking forward to adding to those speakers in terms of the conference in 2026.
Fantastic. I tell you, it sounds like you have been very busy.
I have. But both of those are, and sometimes we talk about purpose and passion. And those that purpose and that passion are other people's purpose and passion.
Yeah.
But just because it's someone else's purpose and passion doesn't necessarily mean that it means then that if I agree with it, and I do with both of those passions and purpose, I will support where I can. I will serve where I can. I will help where I can. I'm not the driver. So it's Mother Miranda Sutherland in terms of the Aging Out Loud. We've interviewed her on the Blacknificent radio show, and she's spoken about the conference.
That's right. That's right. Very, very, very powerful.
Yes.
Event that it is.
Yes.
And I anticipate that it will grow in stature.
And that's the thing that she anticipates it, but someone needs to be that lone voice first and foremost, banging the drum before others recognize, hang on a minute, we have those in our community whose voices just aren't being heard. So it's interesting the fact that I was doing things at two different ends of the spectrum. And one of the things that, so it's Shireen Williams, Miriam Haven Youth Club, it's her brainchild, and we've spoken to her, I believe. But one of the things that she would like to see put forward now is that seniors in the region will go one day in the schools, and the children get an opportunity to ask any question that they want.
Exactly.
They may be growing up with parents and or guardians, but the guardians, everyone's busy. So no one takes time out. You ask a question, a child asks a question 3 times. By the time it comes the 4th time, the parent's exhausted and think, why you keep asking me why? Why you keep asking me why? And they don't even tell them to go find a book to read. It's almost like give them the phone so you can sit down there and become zombieized in the So what she would like to do is that you do have that cross cultural conversations with those who are different, cross-generational conversations.
Yes.
And that's something that Shireen would like to introduce in some form or fashion in 25, 26 with the young people.
What I would like to do, full acknowledgement for that as well, that there is a future to this. It's not just a one-off thing. I think that's what a lot of us do. We like to start something, but we don't follow it through, right? And it's absolutely necessary that we don't just leave people hanging out there. Recall, we had a sister with us a few strongs ago, Sister Lee.
Yeah.
Empress Lee.
Yes.
Well, her event is totally sold out.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Sold out. But I will tell you, because like she did share that, if people are going to come, that they can actually join in on the day as well. But obviously, a contribution that is going to be required for that as well. Right?
I know she was frightened that there was another event happening at the same time that would encourage others to go to the other event. Sometimes I think, and I'm just speaking off the top of my head here now, sometimes our egos are such that we think that we're the most important person in the room. We think then that if I'm not having a conversation with everyone in the room is going to be interested in what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't happen like that. There are how many millions of people in London? How many millions of people in the UK? And the conversations that both groups are having are important. The right people will be in the right room.
And I think that she put herself out there, and as I say, she's been in that circle for quite a while now, right? I'll just turn that on. Right, she's been in that circle for quite a while now, so like she's been able to establish a reasonable following. But the thing is that I think that also because of the nature of what it is, right, they have been able to actually generate some momentum now, with it as well. right? Let me just give you the details of this event in here, right? It's called reasoning in the park, right? Hope, healing, and opportunities with beyond bars, right? And beyond bars is the emphasis here, right? A day a day of self-love, reflection, and practical support for those impacted by the criminal justice system. Come as you are, all are welcome. Okay, so it's an open space and event, right? And where it takes place. Oh, sorry, the date that it takes place is this Sunday, August the 17th, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Right? And it says, bring your blanket and your yoga mats as well. Okay, so you know that there's going to be some forms of activities, right? And it takes place in Ruskin Park, which is on Denmark Hill, London, SE5 9AW. Right? That is Ruskin Park, Denmark Hill, London, SE5 9AW. That is on this Sunday, the 17th, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay? So come along, everybody, right? There is some more bump, right, about the event. Let me just go through that anyway. Join reasoning with Empress Lee, Beyond Bars, CIC, a new organization powered by lived experience, sorry, lived, lived experience for reasoning in the park, a free uplifting community event created for ex-offenders, families, friends, and all affected by the criminal justice system. This is a safe space to connect, heal, and grow. We'll share uh, realities, offers free workshops, resources, and honest conversations, all designed to foster self-love, reflections, and practical step forwards. No judgment, just support and understanding. I think that's very important as well to point out as well. Bring your own blanket, chairs, and yoga mats. That's where I read that from. What to expect? Creative healing, right? Arts and crafts for all ages. Express yourself freely. Empowering workshops focused on self care, emotional resilience, and self growth, right? A supportive community. Connect with others who understands your journey. Employment and opportunity hubs. Access resources,
We can
referral.
hear Brother Akram in the background, I believe.
Okay then. All right. Yeah. And families advice to build your future. Free food and refreshments. Share light refreshments and snacks with good people. But so we don't walk with our empty hand. We don't go do sus-up business, right? Good vibes only. I want to emphasize that. Good vibes only. Relax in the park with live music. I'm not doing no karaoke though. And positive energy and solidarity, right? It says, why come? My gosh, this woman writing on all different things in here. Why come? You're not alone. Meet people who have shared similar experiences. Focus on you, prioritize self love and mental well being, practical hope, explore employment pathways and beyond bars, CIC, signposting advocacies and support, family and friends advocate activities for children and adults alike, built by lived experiences. Right? Beyond bars, get it because we've been there too. Yes, I know that one there. Right? Right. As I say, location in Ruskin Parks, SE5 9AE, right? 9AW, sorry. SE5 9AW, which is a Denmark Hill Station entrance, right? So they can get right across next to the hospital, right? And that's on the 17th of August, right? From 2 to 9 p.m. So pass through, show your support, and get involved. My community, my community, my community. Okay? Get involved with that one there. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm very, very pleased that our sister has been able to pull that one off, right? And I'm looking forward to her. I know that she's on the other thing. She's on the Tikiti Talk there, and I'm hoping that she's going to uh, join us after the event and see how we can further the program and probably roll it out in other means as well. You know, so, yes, that would be our Empress Lee on there. Okay, right. So well done, well done, well done to our Empress Lee. Any last words, my sister, before we come to the top of the hour and we go over to our sister Anawa?
We've just had some interesting conversations. We were joined by Brother Adi and Brother Akram in some of those conversations, or with some of those conversations, when we spoke about Jamaica, but also spoke about the diaspora, the Africa. But you played a very important Ancestral Voices video, which I put up my hands. I didn't listen to, but what's happening now is nothing new. We do have blueprints. The question is, do we pay attention, and what do we do with that information? Some of our discussions was around Barbados being a republic, and Jamaica, whether or not they could go down that same road, and what would be the benefits of, possibilities of. And we were just, I personally said, following discussions I've had with individuals recently, but also my understanding of what I can see being here, is that we're not ready. We're not yet ready. We've not put ourselves in a position. And there are communities and groups that are not part of even the conversation at all. So that's the initial reason why I said we're not ready. We spoke about, or Brother Akram spoke about situations in terms of other countries being top in relation to not necessarily the size, but what they've achieved in terms of, I figure in terms of from a wealth point of view, but in terms of independence and what they've done with it. Again, there are models out there. We cannot, as people of color, follow someone else's model when we have our own models, which have been tried, tested over the centuries, that accidentally on purpose has been picked apart, questioned, etc., etc. For us as a people, as a community, we need to think about how we move forward and what we do. And then other discussions that we've had is just in terms of what I've been up to, and I just shared the two conferences that I was involved in, one pageant and one conference, and the beauties of both.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, I better put the microphone up. Yeah, excellent, 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 my sister. Well done, and congratulations on completing your two events as well, right? And we look forward to seeing any results of that as well. And obviously, we're looking forward to see if we can get some correspondence with the young children there, and obviously supporting.
I was thinking of that. It's the right time now, but what I may end up doing is doing an interview with them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the outfits that they were wearing, but I can do the slice and dicing. I was looking to do that yesterday, and that didn't work because it was videoed. So I'll probably end up having to use the clips that I have, which aren't as polished, and then provide something for the Blacknificent family to look at next time round.
That'd be great. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this strong here on the Blacknificent Show. Brother Akram, are you with us still?
Yeah, I'm with you. Grandma, something I would like to put to our sister is that when you're out and about, can you do something for us, please? Just find out from the people how many of them have thought about the cooperative. Because for me, you were talking about whether a plan or an idea. And from what I learned, that just after the Second World War, many countries around the world wanted to go down the road of the cooperative. Like Guyana become a republic, but it's also, if you know, it's got the name, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. And many other countries wanted to go that way, but I think the West squeezed them out of that. And I mean, it's a model that, I mean, that can be used. I don't know if the people there think about, something like that as a way of moving forward. And Jeremy Corbyn, in the last election, said if he had won the election, that's one of the routes that he would have wanted to take the British government down. The British country down, because he said had he been elected, most of those factories and companies that's closed down would not have been closed down, because he would have given them over to the people to run it. The people who works in it as a cooperative. So, it's something to discuss before, maybe, in your conversation with the people, to see whether they have thought about that sort of as a model, because we can't go down the road, as Ibrahim Shuri said. Can't go down the road of the West.
Okay, right. We've reached the top of the hour. Thank you very much, my brother Akram. And we look forward to hearing from you in the near future as well. Right. Until our paths cross again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And we'll come chop down the ackee tree in that garden there,
My brother and sister, we can't take it no longer. So much pain, they took the sinful ones and ravished the father's land. Brothers in captivity. house is down and blood stains on the wall. This ain't no humanity. Oh yeah, black man, oh man, oh man, give a little bit to your man, oh man, won't you please? You be a better man, black man, oh man, oh man, if only eyes would see. If only I would see what the black man likes. It's growing pain and strive of beginning to be a bird and let's see. Yeah. They wait their thoughts and wise and took their husband's life and took the capture of the sea. Oh yeah, black man, oh man, oh man. Here's the time to be that we'll fight for our liberty. This ain't a human land. Black man, oh man, oh man. All we need some more security. Yes, we need some more security. Lord, 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 yeah. Yes, we get a massive experience. It's the kind of peace that you find for your liberty. Oh, yeah. This thing of human land. Oh, man, man, all we need some more security. Yes, we need some more security. They took the silver ones and ravished the part of land. The brothers in captivity.
This is Galaxy Radio. www.galaxyafluid.com. www.galaxyafluid.com. The only de-brainwashing station. I am Eric Kuti, the final judge.
On the .net.
You only make you cry. We've been together for such a long time. So I love you, oh girl, need you by my side. Don't you know, baby, true love will never die. Let the dawn. And country.